So, some APC chieftains are now coming out to speak boldly about Daniel Bwala going on that interview with Media San. But what is interesting is this. Just yesterday, I made a post analyzing the APC situation and the internal dynamics around Daniel Bwala. In that post, I pointed out something very simple, that some of the old gags in APC were quietly laughing at Daniel Bwala behind the scenes. But look at it now. I knew there were internal tensions, but I did not know it would play out this openly and this quickly. So if you haven't read that my post, please go and take a look at it. And remember the girl who saw tomorrow. But let me not prolong this conversation any further. Just take a listen.
Daniel is nowhere to be found. Daniel is in Atiku's house in Abuja, taking tea, eating bread, concocting lies against Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, telling staunch lies against us, telling us that we are bootlickers. So he went there. Bayo Ononuga is the spokesperson of the president, of commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So Daniel is not the spokesperson. It's a policy, and those policy statements needs to be signed and vetted by Bayo Ononuga. So he went there on his public fury as a liar, a staunch liar, who does not have any iota of reputation. If you go to his village in Borno State, there's nobody. Ask the incumbent vice president. What this same guy, Daniel, has said about the present vice president, who comes a former governor of his state. So because the boy wants to get relevant to the national prominency, so he believes that saying things that is not true, blatant lie, saying jargons about people's character is the best way. And good for him, he's able to find his way into the presidency. By saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu created a militia.
You haven't answered my question, Dr. Oshinowo. You haven't answered my question.
Why do you want to take me there?
No. My question is that also a reflection on because he did not appoint himself special advisor, did he? He did not appoint himself to the position in the APC. So if you're saying all these things that are despicable about the character of Daniel Bwala, is that not a reflection on the person who appointed him, on the party who appointed him?
No. Daniel does not go to the United Kingdom to discuss policy. He went there to redeem his image as a liar, as a staunch liar and image destroyer. He went there to redeem. If you need anything about the government of APC, you talk to Bayo Ononuga or you talk to Sunday Dare. These are the guys that are in charge of public communication that will convey the stand of the government to the Nigerian people and the world, not Daniel. Daniel went there. You know, he likes to shop around the studios, like going to Shemo Kumbaloe, lies and, you know.
Now, if you listen carefully to what is being said there, you can see clearly that some people within the space understand psychology of others. If Daniel Bwala wanted to handle the situation properly, the simplest thing he would have done was just admit the obvious contradictions and move on. A brief acknowledgement would have just ended the issue immediately. But of course, Daniel did not, because he often emphasized he is intelligent. For many people, intelligence is when you jump from TV station to TV station, quote laws, speak out of context, your ability to prolong conversations until the real issues get buried. That is intelligence. So what Daniel Bwala indirectly was trying to do was project his own image, to signal the fact that despite everything I've said about Tinubu in the past, I am still the man chosen for the job. So in other words, look at how intelligent I must be for Tinubu to still pick me. And when you refuse to admit something that is already public knowledge, people begin to assume that every criticism you made in the past is still true. So instead of protecting or projecting the administration, the conversation ended up amplifying some of the very criticism that were previously unknown to many people. So when people say Tinubu is very smart when it comes to choosing his team, maybe he used to be in the past. Just like the interviewer asks, having said all these things about Bwala, why did Tinubu choose him? The answer is not far-fetched. It is not smartness or brilliance. It is desperation. Supporting an administration is not about wearing the party cap or logo or speaking loudly on TV. Sometimes it requires the humility to take responsibility, even when it is uncomfortable. But clearly, that kind of honesty is one thing many of these spokespersons are not prepared to offer. It is a truth at a time. Take care and have a nice day.